Hello all and welcome to another edition of RedMarmot Gaming. Today we're going to be discussing Black Desert Online and Blackstones. First topic is Alchemy Stones. For a lot of you this might be old hat, but for some of you it might be something new. Alchemy Stones, like this one here, go into a specific slot on your character. They provide you with buffs unique to what they are. They come in 3 varieties: a DPS version, an offense version, and a life skilling one. The life skilling one isn't shown here. It is a green variant, but as you can see, there are 2 types here, the purple one being the offensive, and this brown beige one being the defensive one. Now, they also come in different qualities. These are both gold quality, but they can be green, blue, and gold, as they are here. The Alchemy Stones also function with the same kind of enhancement system that's similar to enhancing your gear, but at the same time very different. You can get Alchemy Stones through Alchemy, but since they have a high chance of failing, and when they get to better quality, even breaking, I highly suggest saving up your money and buying Alchemy Stones where you can, rather than engaging in the entire enhancement process that's unique to them. But I will cover that here. So whenever you have an Alchemy Stone in your inventory, you'll have access to this tab here, Alchemy. And as you can see here, you have Recharge, Polishing, and Growth. Whenever your Alchemy Stone's durability is low, that is happening because you're using it. Now, as you can see here, the duration for the Alchemy Stones is 3 minutes. Their cooldown is also 3 minutes, so they can, in theory, be used consecutively again and again until their durability is maxed out. There is actually an option on your character sheet too. When you press I and open your inventory, at the bottom left, there should be a box that you can check off. It will allow you to use your Alchemy Stone continuously for all of the durability that it has, so you don't have to constantly click for the Alchemy Stone to be used. The default button to use the Alchemy Stone is U on the keyboard, I believe. These Alchemy Stones in particular have 150 durability, so they can go for quite a few uses. But again, if you have that box checked off on your screen, every single time those 3 minutes are up, the Alchemy Stone will automatically reinitiate itself and turn itself back on. Make sure you turn it off after you're done doing whatever you're doing with that particular Alchemy Stone, otherwise it'll keep going, even when you're AFK. To recharge your Alchemy Stone, obviously, the Recharge tab takes care of that. Right-click the Alchemy Stone you want to recharge. If I had the materials necessary on me right now, which are bloods, so Tyrant's bloods, Clown's bloods, etc., also made through Alchemy, I could also put those in here, and that is what recharges the stones. This is true of all Alchemy Stones: Destruction, life-skilling ones, and the protection ones. They all use bloods to recharge: Clown, Tyrant, etc. And you can make those fairly easily through Alchemy, or you can buy them on the marketplace and throw them in here as well. It will also tell you when you throw the bloods in how many are required to recharge the Alchemy Stone back to full durability. So you'll see that here under required amount when you have the bloods on you. Now, in terms of enhancing the Alchemy Stones, as I'd mentioned before, I actually bought these Alchemy Stones as is. I didn't bother to go through the enhancing process because I actually did do that before, and it is quite a headache. If you have problems already enhancing your gear with Blackstones, using Blackstones to get your Alchemy Stones enhanced can be a bit of a pain too, especially when they get into higher levels of quality. They do have a chance not just to downgrade, but break entirely like accessories, and that's a lot of time and investment loss. So again, save up your money where you can and try to buy the Alchemy Stones outright is my gift to you, but do what you will. How you would actually go about enhancing the Alchemy Stones, should you try to do so, is polishing and growth. First, you'd have to polish the Alchemy Stone. As you can see here, it brings up an EXP bar, which you can also see when you mouse over the Alchemy Stone, and that EXP bar for this one is 0. Depending on the Alchemy Stone, so whether it's Sharp, Protection, or Life, you will see the polishing material required in order to polish the Alchemy Stone. Now, why do you want to polish these stones, you might be asking? The more EXP they have, the more successful they are when you go to the Growth tab of enhancing to a new level. The less EXP you have, the less likely they are to fail. The more likely they are to fail, actually. So you want to make sure you have more EXP. I believe it caps out at around 150%, but again, it's all RNG, so even at 150%, you could still fail. Once you've polished the stone significantly to where you want it, go to the Growth tab, toss in the Alchemy Stone again, and then come down to your weapon stones. Weapon stones are used to enhance alchemy stones at the final stage. But don't worry, it only takes one, so even though it puts in all of them right here, it will only use one for the process. It will tell you what the penalty is if you fail, EXP down, meaning the EXP bar will decrease, and the grade has a chance to go down too. So you could go from a gold to a blue, or a gold to a green. It can degrade, it can even break, which is why, again, I recommend buying these stones outright rather than actually trying to go through this process. But if you do, here is the process, and here is the reward you could potentially get if it does succeed. Again, this varies depending on the alchemy stone you're using. Now, while we're on the topic of blackstones, I'd like to take a look at the armor and the weapon stone. These are the ones you find traditionally from mobs, games, rewards, systems, etc. These are the ones you get. Now, these particular stones are good from 1 to plus 15 in terms of enhancing your gear and your weapons, not accessories. But once you get to plus 15 and you want to go to plus 16, plus 17, pride, duo, tri, pen, tet, if you want to get to plus 20, you have to start using a different set of enhancement materials. Those enhancement materials are concentrated magical blackstone armor for armor pieces and concentrated magical blackstone weapon for weapon pieces, your main hand, offhand, and your awakening weapon. Now, how do you get these two variants? You get those by getting something called a hard black crystal shard and a sharp black crystal shard. You get those from gathering. They do not come from mob drops. Sometimes they can also come from various games, the Black Spirit game, other kind of reward systems in the game, and you can get them that way. You can also get them from other items, and I'll show you that right now. So let's say you have something like a necklace of good deeds, and you heat that in this process. It's going to take it a minute, but if you heat something like this, not all items do this, but the necklace of good deeds can, and certain other accessories, they have a chance to give you hards and sharps right there. And they can yield quite a bit. So you have hards and sharps now. And when you have these two particular items, to turn them into a magical, concentrated magical variant of itself, you need to use the corresponding normal version, 2 of them heated with one of the new versions. I'll use this one sharp crystal as a test here. Now, what you can do is you can go ahead, again, open your processing and heat it. It's going to put in all of them there, but it's only going to be a 1-to-2 ratio. So 1 sharp black crystal shard for every 2 blackstone weapons. Again, it has to be weapons for the sharps and armors for the hards. And there you have it, concentrated magical blackstone weapon. So again, to get these particular items, you'll need to get them from gathering. So you can get the hards and the sharps from any form of gathering outside of gathering water. Once you get them through that process, heat them with the normal variant of themselves that you get from mobs generally, and you'll end up with the concentrated versions. Those concentrated versions you then take, turn around, and use to get above plus 15 and higher. So I hope this clears up a lot of questions in regards to alchemy stones, as well as enhancing plus 15, and of course, finding and getting hard black crystal shards and sharp black crystal shards to help you get those concentrated variants to get your gear rolling into the Pride, Duo, Tri, Tet, and Pen arena. Another note on going above plus 15 is Pride, Duo, and Tri are actually quite simple. Again, the game is all RNG, so results may vary depending on the person. However, you should know that for Pride, the number of fail stacks needed there is much less than the number of fail stacks needed for plus 15. So in actuality, for Pride, 10 fail stacks is around 30% chance of actually succeeding. Whereas for 15 plus 15, 10 fail stacks is somewhere in the realm of single digits. So as you can see, if you are plus 15, you should be able to move into Pride relatively quickly if you have the materials available to you. So again, this has been a brief overview of enhancing alchemy stones and your gear past plus 15. If you found this video useful, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos from RedMarmot Gaming, make sure you subscribe down below. Thanks for watching.